Hey, how are you doing? I wanted to take a moment and talk to the teachers out there because my daughter's graduating today, and I know that we're getting close to the end of the school year here on the West Coast. Uh, don't know if the East Coast, if you guys are still in school or not, but I wanted to take a moment and talk to the teacher who is struggling right now. Can I just talk to the teachers for a minute? Like the ones who are exhausted, the ones who are questioning whether they make a difference. The ones who are counting down the days until summer or are dreading the days going back, but somehow are still feeling guilty for needing a break. Like, I remember my summers, they'd be packed of trainings, of the pre-work days, of learning the new curriculum, because they can't keep a curriculum for more than 3 minutes. Nothing ever comes to fruition. We don't give anything the opportunity to actually grow into something. And I'd always want to teach summer school too, because summer school was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I got to do some of the craziest stuff with kids, like take hammers to school and let's build birdhouses. I couldn't do that in my normal class, but I was able to do that in summer school, and it was an amazing opportunity. So I want to talk to the teachers out there, the ones carrying behaviors, paperwork, meetings, emails, family concerns, academic gaps, attendance issues, and the emotional weight of caring about kids who are carrying more than any child should have to carry. I see you. I see you because I am you. I was a teacher who was struggling, and I left. Not even by my own choice. I ended up leaving for a time. And I lost a huge part of who I was because I'm a natural born teacher. And choosing not to be a part of that, man, I lost my direction. I lost who I was. But before we talk about strategies, interventions, data, test scores, behavior plans, or school improvement plans, I want to remind you of something. You matter too. Because somewhere along the way, many educators started believing that everyone else's needs were more important than their own. We pour into students, we pour into families, we encourage the coworkers we have, we solve problems, we show up. And a lot of times we're running on empty while doing it. A lot of times our bank account is empty because we're paying for everything that the kids needs. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got thousands of kids. Once you're one of my students, you're one of my kids. Like, I take care of you like you're my own. And we also need to find a way to still set boundaries and still be able to support ourselves so that we can better support our kids. Maybe you felt that this year. Maybe you've gone home wondering if you're doing enough. Maybe you've laid awake at night thinking about your student you couldn't reach that day. Maybe you've replayed difficult conversations in your head. Maybe you've questioned whether you still have what it takes. And if that's you, I want you to hear something. Your worth is not measured by how much you sacrifice. Your value is not determined by how exhausted you are. And being tired doesn't mean you're failing. It means you've been carrying a lot. The fact that you're tired doesn't mean you're ineffective. It means you've been giving. One of the things I've learned as an educator and administrator is that teachers often extend grace to everyone except themselves. We tell students that mistakes are part of learning, which they are, but then we beat ourselves up for making them. We tell students that growth takes time, because it does. And we expect ourselves to have everything figured out immediately. I can't tell you how many times I have been to a training as a math teacher where they're like, let the kids know that you made a mistake. Don't be afraid of saying, I don't know. And we can figure it out, because we can figure anything out now. It's like we have so much information. We encourage the kids to ask for help, and we won't do it ourselves. And I wonder what would happen if we offered ourselves the same compassion we offered our students every day. What if we stopped measuring our success by perfection? What if we stopped carrying responsibility for things that were never ours to control in the first place? Because here's the truth. You can create opportunities. You can build relationships. You can provide support. You can show up consistently, but you cannot control every outcome. And carrying that burden will eventually crush you. Teachers were never meant to carry the weight of saving every child. We were called to love every child. There's a difference. It's a huge difference. Because when we believe we have to save everyone, we live in constant disappointment. When we focus on loving, teaching, supporting, and connecting, we can celebrate the impact we're truly making. And trust me, you are making more of an impact than you realize. You may never know that the student who barely spoke in your class felt safe because of you. You may never know that your smile was the best part of someone's day. You may never know that a conversation you barely remembered changed the trajectory of a student's life. But it happens every day. Not because teachers are superheroes. I mean, we are. But it's not just that. It's because relationships matter. Connection matters. Presence matters. Students may forget the lesson, but they rarely forget how they felt in your classroom. And I'm gonna say one thing that's just coming to mind is that one of the places I was in recently, one of the schools I was in recently, I was around teachers that were so concerned about themselves and their lives that they didn't even know the students' names in their classes. And just think about that. If you're in a room full of people who don't know who you are, don't know your name, you're not going to want to put anything out there. You're not going to want to take a risk to learn, to make a mistake, to grow. And that's part of the art of teaching, is being able to build that rapport with your students, with their families, with the whole school community, and build that place where students feel so safe that they take a risk. They say, I don't know, and they learn. So let me say this again. Students may forget the lesson, but they rarely forget how they felt in your classroom. Think about your own life. Think about the educators that you remember. Chances are you don't remember every worksheet. You don't remember every assignment. You don't remember every lecture, but you do remember how they made you feel. Whether you were seen, valued, capable, important, that's the work. Not just academics, not just standards, not just curriculum. The work is helping human beings believe that they matter. And that's why I think so many educators are struggling right now. Not because they don't care, because they care deeply. Sometimes too deeply. And you're carrying the stories, the trauma, the challenges, the uncertainty, the responsibility, and doing it while trying to navigate increasing expectations and limited resources. And it's a lot. And if nobody told you lately, it is okay to acknowledge that. It's okay to admit that this work is hard. And it is okay to need support. It is okay to be human. And to be a human being, not a human doing. You cannot pour belonging into others if you've forgotten that you belong as well. Let that sit for a minute. Because I think many educators spend so much time creating belonging for others that they forget they deserve it themselves. I know I did. I built this lovely classroom. It was a portable, mind you. And we had fun. It was colorful. It was safe. It was cozy. And yet I was out in a portable. I didn't have the connection and community with my other teachers that I truly needed. partially because I thought I could do it myself and do it alone, and that's just how it was. I was secluded in a portable outside of the school. But you know what? We deserve that support. We deserve the encouragement. We deserve rest. And we deserve grace. And you deserve to be surrounded by people who remind you why you started this work in the first place. So if you're struggling today, I want you to remember this. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to have all the answers. You do not have to carry everything. Just keep showing up. Keep building relationships. Keep looking for the good. Keep choosing connection. Because the world doesn't need more perfect teachers. It needs more present ones. And your presence matters more than you know. The student who needs you most probably isn't looking for a perfect lesson. They're looking for someone who sees them. And the fact that you're listening to this right now tells me something important. You still care. I still care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be out here reaching out to you and letting you know that it's okay. It's okay to care and be told, hey, you don't have a job here anymore. And as long as you still care, there's still hope. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for every early morning and every late night. Thank you for every difficult conversation and every second chance. Thank you for every moment you chose connection where compliance would be easier. The work matters. It truly does. And I just want to remind you that so do you.